Hey guys, good evening and welcome to VRDJ.io for another video. Today we're going to be looking at beat matching and phrase syncing or phrase mixing in virtual reality using Rekordbox. So do go and check out the previous video that I did, which shows you how I go about picking the songs and choosing when they come in, when they exit, using the cue points. And today we're going to be using the Meta Quest 3 VR headset inside of Tribe XR, of course. So it's going to be pretty awesome. It's going to be very interesting to see what kind of challenges I'm going to have, whether the songs actually work, whether I'm able to mix them properly or not, and do that form of exercise, and also see whether I'm going to have enough time to cue in and cue out between tracks, but also once the track is loaded. So all these kind of different things I'm really looking forward to finding out before we do the final mix, if you wish, where I'll be as comfortable as possible and where I can start to really experiment, really be creative with the EQs and transitions and all that kind of good stuff. So if you want to learn through this process from beginner to pro, I recommend you watch this video until the very end. And remember to subscribe and share this video with your friends as well, who might be looking to learn how to DJ in virtual reality. All right, see you in Tribe XR in just a moment. All right, so welcome to another VRDJ.io video where you follow the progress from beginner to professional. And today we're going to be doing some beat matching and phrase mixing, phrase syncing from the playlist that I had organized from the previous video. So I'm using stock songs from Epidemic Sound, not sponsored or anything. So because I just don't want to have any issues with any copyrights and all these things. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to load the tracks, which I brought into Tribe. So we're going to go to Music, Rekordbox, My Tracks, holding back deck 1, and then now lives on deck 4. There we go. So we load the tracks already. There we go. I'm just going to bring them the window so you can see me up there. Hi there. So all we're going to do in this video is we're not going to worry about the EQs or anything. I just want to get used to changing cue points, beat matching, phrase syncing, mixing. That's it. And then once I'm used to everything, then we'll touch the EQ and all these kind of things. So we can see the cue points here, A and B. And we can see them here, A, B, C, D. So we're going to start off with this song first. Let me bring the console closer to me. There we go. And yeah, so let's start. So we're going to start beat matching here. Okay, so actually I made a mistake because I was supposed to put the previous track, mix it from the beginning, not later. So we're actually 1 Q too late, which is why my sound sounded a bit off. So let's start everything again. We'll put this one in deck 1, 9 lives, and deck 2 again, which is loaded already. Okay, and then we're going to bring this to 120. It's not easy to do in VR. There we go. This one's already at 120, so we're going to bring it back to the beginning. And we can see A is at the start. So that's what I was supposed to do. I was supposed to play both songs. When this reaches A, I'm supposed to start A from that point. So let's do exactly that. So I'm just watching my waves at the moment. Coming now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now we can read the next track. We're supposed to have loaded it already. So I think this is good to be able to practice it on the decks as opposed to on the computer, because it just goes to show how hard this is. Basically, I've only got a few bars between C here. So if we just bring it, it's about here. There we go. And if we play it, already I'm supposed to go now. 1, 2, 3, 4, boom. So it doesn't really leave much time to go and find the track. So I'm going to have to rework this part of the track here, so that instead of coming in at this point, leaving or coming in from this track at this point and then exiting at this point here, I'm going to have to move it all the way to, let's say, up there. So what I could do now is I can experiment and start it again from A, and song's already in, so we'll start it from B, just to imagine that I just came in at that point. There we go. All right. And then we're going to bring, so when this hits D, this is when my B will come in. So when it hits, I will invent a C point up there somewhere. I will just let it play. And then my A point, which is here, my AQ, I will start it a bit later. And hopefully it works out. So I'm going to wait, instead of doing it in this chorus here, I'm going to wait for the verse and then do it in the next chorus. So it gives me more time to be able to make the change. So let's do this. So this is where I'm supposed to be mixing it. Maybe what I'll do is I'll start mixing the D. It's coming now. 1, 2, 3, 4. the song's coming. So again, I didn't exit on D for some reason. Have to look into that. So now we wait for C. I'm on A here. And the previous song, for some reason, I didn't exit on D either. So I need to look at that. It's coming. Oh, wrong one. So not really a good mix there. I did it very quickly and yeah, wasn't prepared for that. So now we're just waiting for C, which is at the end of the song. what I'm learning today is that I really need to give myself more room. So maybe 16 bars or 32 bars, and also being at the very end of the outro and the intro can be a little bit tough. Alright, so it's coming. So it's great because, again, I wasn't very tight here, and learning how to do this on the decks as opposed to creating the playlist on the computer is such a huge difference. It really gives me great feedback in terms of learning how to mix in the next track properly, because at the moment I'm really doing a bad job. I'm happy with the song choice though. As a first test, getting to see where the actual songs are supposed to go from 1 to 2, that I'm happy with. So that's the good point. Okay, so I was happy there, but again, I had missed the D, so I need to give myself more room on this one. I'm going to have to recount everything. I mean, you can see here, for example, C and D are literally a few bars. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to be doing this one. So I click on Beat Sync just to make things faster for this one instead of doing it by hand. So it will beat sync automatically for me. I won't need to do it manually. Okay, it's coming. Okay, so I just want to redo this one very quickly because this was very special to me. So let's just go back to B. And then from B, I will have it play all the way to C again. Okay, there we go. Because this transition, I was supposed to let it go on deck 1 for Sponger Fist. I wasn't supposed to switch. Okay, so one more verse, or one more chorus. All right, it's coming. Okay, so that went perfect, so now we're waiting for C. Yeah, very happy with this song, getting the momentum going. Not fast enough. I want to be at 125 or 128 BPM, but because we're practicing, it's 120. Definitely want to give it more bass bump in the EQ as well. There we go. Nice transition there. Actually, loading tracks that start from the beginning is pretty easy. But as you can see, I'm not leaving myself enough time here. Very confused what I'm supposed to do in fact. So I'm just going to stop the track. So not quite sure what happened, but I can tell that AB is not in line with AB here. CD is though. So we have C and D which are aligned. So I think what I might have done is think that I was editing two separate tracks, but I must have been editing two tracks. So this is something we have to look at as well. So unfortunately, it throws everything off. So what I'm going to have to do now is stop from here, go back on Rekordbox to edit this song plus the other song at the beginning. I think it was track 3 and 4. I have to rewatch the video. And of course, I can write on a piece of paper what I need to do. So, and then come back in and try again. So really good experimentation today. Get to know what's going on, making sure that I've got enough bars to prepare the songs, from one track to the other. Otherwise, if they're too close, it doesn't give me enough time to beat match. And of course, if they're too close from changing the track, then it makes life even harder. So thanks for watching VR DJ. Remember to subscribe. You get to see my process from beginner to pro. And if you've got any tips, any ways to do things even faster, please leave a comment below. Let me know if this video has helped you in any way. And of course, share the video with your friends as well so we can grow the VR DJ community. And thanks to Tribe XR. This is fantastic. Let me know if you want any specific how-to videos about Tribe XR in the comments below. All right, until next time, take it easy, guys. Bye for now.